everyone, Jennifer here, back with another edition of Movie Talk. And this week's movie is one of my personal favorite Disney princess movies, and that movie is Tangled. Long ago, a single drop of sun fell to earth, creating a flower with magical healing properties. When the flower is used to save a dying queen, that healing power is given to her unborn daughter, who is then spirited away and locked in a tower for 18 long years. Now, Rapunzel dreams of seeing the floating lights in the sky and is whisked on her birthday and is whisked away on a very tangled adventure. Okay, highlights of the movie. The movie was made back in 2010, so it is roughly 10 years old, give or take. Anywhere from 9 to 10 years old. And it is a 3D computer animated movie created by Disney and is loosely based on the grim fairy tale of Rapunzel. This movie also inspired two short films, Tangled Ever After and Tangled Before Ever After, and a series, Tangled the Series, or Rapunzel's Tangled Adventures. Okay, things I liked about this movie. I really loved everything about this movie. Rapunzel is one of my favorite fairy tales, so the fact that this movie was based on that is really big to me. I also really love it when the Disney movies give special abilities to their princesses, like they did with Rapunzel here. She had magical healing properties that were in her hair and activated whenever she sang a special song. In Frozen, we had Elsa, who had the magical ice abilities. I think that's really the only two. But when they add like the magical factor to the princesses, to these magical or to these stories about princesses, I really like that because they're kind of taking a step back, or not really taking a step back, but they're adding a magical element, for lack of a better word, to the storyline, and I absolutely love that. I loved the characters. Rapunzel was so funny because she kind of seesawed at the first half of her adventure, not the first half of the movie, but the first half of her adventure, between being so excited to be free after 18 years of being locked in a tower to so upset to what was going to happen when her mother, or the person she believed to be her mother, discovered that she was gone. And whatnot. And I don't want to say she was naive. Rapunzel was very naive, but she did live a very sheltered life, which means she was very inexperienced as to what was the outside world was really like. She believed what her quote-unquote Mother Gothel told her, but she didn't believe it so much that she was willing to stay in the tower. She wanted to venture out on her own and kind of see this world herself. Which is kind of what I liked. You had this kind of rebellious, what every teenager is kind of in Rapunzel, which I really liked. They could have made her one way or the other, and like really rebellious or really, content to stay within the tower, and they kind of did a nice mix there, which I really, really liked. I liked Flynn Rider, aka Eugene Fitzherbert, who is Rapunzel's love interest in the story. I found him very, very humorous and very funny. He kind of narrates the story as well, which I kind of liked how they had the character within the story narrating the story. I loved Rapunzel's little friend Pascal the chameleon. I found him very, very humorous, and I loved his facial expressions. You would not think a chameleon would have facial expressions, but Pascal has facial expressions which are just so funny and so cute. because he doesn't talk, so you get a lot of what he's thinking through his facial expressions, which is just amazing. And the way he changes color, it's like, that's not how a chameleon changes color, but it works for this movie. It is so funny. And I liked Max as well, Maximus, the royal horse, or royal guard horse of Corona, which is this kingdom in this movie. I really liked him. Again, he doesn't talk, but he does have a lot of facial expressions, which tell you what he's thinking, how he's feeling. He doesn't really act like a horse. I mean, he acts like a horse, but he also acts kind of like a person, and sometimes like a dog, which is kind of funny. And I loved the misfits. The misfits they run into at this little bar tavern thingy called the Snuggly Duckling. I just loved them. They were all so funny. I wish we could have spent more time with them in the movie, but we do spend a lot of time with them later on in the series. The Tangled Adventures of Rapunzel, or Tangled the series. So we do spend a lot of time with them in that. So I'm like, okay, happy trade-off there. I loved the songs. My favorites, my top two favorites were When Will My Life Begin, which was near the beginning of the movie, and At Last I See the Light, which is kind of a love song between Rapunzel and Finn/Eugene. Those were my top two favorite songs in the whole movie. I absolutely loved it. I loved the two mini movies that followed. One, Tangled Ever After, kind of focuses on Max and Pascal. I will not do a review on it because it is relatively short, but it has to do with what happens at the end of the movie. I really don't want to say because it'll give stuff away. And then Tangled Before Ever After kind of kicks off the Tangled series. So when I do my review on Tangled the series, I'll more than likely do a review on that as well, since it does kick that off. I love the series. The series is amazing and great. We're introduced to new characters. We get to explore more of Corona. We learn more about the secret of the sun drop and whatnot. It's an amazing series. I don't want to get too much into it because that would be more TV talk, not movie talk. But I love how that branched off from there. It's just great. We learn more about the different characters from this movie, particularly Rapunzel and Eugene or Flynn, in that. But again, we will talk about that when I get to that in TV talk, I promise. Okay, cast. There were a lot of characters in this story, but these are the ones that we see predominantly through the movie, minus, of course, Max and Pascal. Okay, feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Please like and share this video if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already if you're watching on YouTube. And feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. I do have my name for those 4 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respective artists. I own absolutely nothing. And the links for the 4 sites I mentioned will be in the description section. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, feel free to check out my other videos. before we get started, I'd just like to say a few things. First off, number one, you may have noticed that the slides are a little different from my previous movie talk videos. This is due to the fact that my computer crashed and I had to get a new one and redo all my slides, and they did not have the same backdrops, number one, that my old computer had, so I had to choose new backdrops. Number two, I could not remember not only all the videos I did for Movie Talk in the past, but also the order they went into, so I just decided, I'm just going to skip that. So I do apologize for skipping that, but it was just way easier on me. YouTube subscribers, please note that any of my videos that cannot be found on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, are on my Facebook page. The link will be in the description section. Facebook friends, any of my videos that cannot be found on my Facebook page are on my YouTube channel. The link will be in the description section. And for any of you out there watching, if you haven't already, feel free to check out my Facebook group, Fanfic Corner. The link will be in the description section. As always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.